All right, well, welcome to the Reagan Educational Center ceramics program. This is an art class for Rayburn and for Clovis East students. Rayburn, it's a semester-long class, and for Clovis East, it's year-long. So I think a lot of you are going to be wondering, how are you going to run a ceramics program through an online type of program? And so your child at this point should have clay at their house. They should be working on the projects we're doing, and I will teach the lessons on class. The tough part is I can't see what they're doing daily, and I can't necessarily tell them to turn this way and to twist that way, but we'll just work through it the best we can. It's one of those things where, we're in a situation where we have to make do, and while this may not be the best situation, I think it'll work out quite well for clay, and I think it'll give your child a nice break during the day from their other academic subjects. Not that ceramics is an academic, but it's just very hands-on. It'll be something that gives them a nice break throughout the day or during their day. So let's talk a little bit about the projects for this semester. I have three major projects, or three types of building plan. 4 weeks, 4 weeks, and 4 weeks will take us pretty much up until winter break. So the first 4 weeks is ceramic pinch pots, and this is where you take clay and you pinch the clay into a form or a vessel, a pot if you will, and then you adorn that pot to things like feet and handles, carving, stuff like that to make it interesting to look at. So here's a couple of different examples of pinch pots. These were ones that I did for the students in the video for the instruction, and this is just a week project, a week-long project. We're going to be working the other 3 weeks with pinch and making animal sculptures using this method, and I'll explain in just a moment. So these are a few different examples of what they will do for their first one. And this is an introduction to pinch, and then what they're going to do then is make smaller pinch pots, put them together to become animals. And so here's an example of a dinosaur, an extinct animal if you will. And the pinch pots form the body on this, and then smaller pinch pots are used for the head, and then legs are attached and spikes, so on and so forth. This is another example. Student made this animal, which is a human animal that's kind of a futuristic, got a sword on the back and kind of cool horns and things. So they can be pretty wide open with any type of animals that we're familiar with, or animals they may not be familiar with, fantasy animals or whatever. I'm sure I'll have a few dragons and dinosaurs, things like that. So that's our first project, which is pinch. The second project, doing coil pots. So this is where you roll out a coil of clay, very much like a snake or a rope, and then you build with those to make your vessel. And in this particular case, they could be more of a bowl shape, which is a little bit harder, but something like a vase or something like that is usually pretty good. So these are examples of students' pieces from other semesters. This one, the coils have all been smooth, so you can't even tell that they were ever coils, and handles were added to make this amphora. And then in an example like this one, all the coils are exposed, so you can see the designs. But if they leave the coils exposed on the outside as they build, they'll smooth them from the inside to help them survive. All right, and then the third project is a slab project. So we have pinch, we have coil, and then the third one is slab. So slab is where you roll out clay with a rolling pin or some type of device like that to make flat slabs. You can wrap them, do different things, but we're going to do a cut slab where they're going to let their clay get to the consistency of leather. We call that leather hard, and then make it into a box. And then that box is going to be their third project. So here's an awesome one from a few years ago. A student made kind of like this alien spacecraft, either landing or taking off from the Earth. This student went way above and beyond and made this score. She made these beautiful flowers that went on top. Okay, so that's the first semester. Second semester, I'm hoping that we'll be back in school, and if that's the case, we'll learn to work on the potter's wheel. I have 10 wheels, so we'll rotate that through as we do other projects. A few other things, all the classes will be on Zoom. Google Classroom is used for all their assignments, so if they have technical issues, they should be able to get on and see what they missed and then make up those assignments. Grading in this class, so 50% of their grade will be their projects. We have evaluations for all of those. I'm going to have them take pictures of them regularly and submit those for their grade. The 30% of their grade is tests and quizzes, and then the other 20% is participation, so being in class every day, having their camera on, having their name correctly in Zoom, all those types of things, being on time. That 20% will just really be being a good citizen in class, working every day. So that's grading. Third thing is challenges. So there's going to be challenges in class with being away from the classroom and not having all the facilities and things that you would normally have. Clay in the home can be messy, so they need a place to work that's quiet, that they're able to maybe store their stuff, they're able to work on things. I really recommend that they have a washcloth to wipe their hands off, keep the clay out of their sinks as much as possible, clean up any clay that's going to be left over outside so that it doesn't go down your drains. I really encourage them to keep clay out of your drains. A little bit's not going to be a problem, but you don't want that to build up over time. Let's see, and it's messy, so we talked about that. The other thing is communication. Please don't be afraid to communicate with me. If you have questions, you should have my email, and that's probably the best way to get a hold of me. If you call the school, they can connect you to my classroom. So I'm looking forward to a great year. It's going to have definite challenges, but I'm excited about it, and so far the students are really rising to the occasion. Look forward to a great year with your son or daughter.